Hello, this is Chef Timmy James, and one of the things that inspires me to cook new things is traveling to other areas of the world. And recently I was able to travel to Singapore, where I was able to taste some of their cuisine there that's native to Singapore. And I'd like to share these little experiences with you in my first video. In Singapore, hawker centers are very popular, and basically hawker centers are individual food stalls located in big outdoor centers there, where you can get many of the best delicacies that Singapore has to offer. They also have hawker centers in malls, but they're basically called food courts there. The first one that we found was in the Chinatown complex. It was called number 169 Hainanese Chicken Rice. And the roots from that dish come from the Hainan province in southern China, and that's how they got the name, Hainanese Chicken Rice. This is where they poach the entire chicken. They use the broth of that chicken after cooking it to cook the rice, and they actually hang the chickens out to dry a little bit so that they actually drain from, the extra juices, but it doesn't take away any of the juiciness of them. In this video clip, you're going to see me trying Hainanese chicken rice for the first time, as well as a side of chicken innerts. And I am at the Chinatown complex in Chinatown. On the second floor, there's a very large hawker center, which is where you can get so many foods from Singapore, traditional dishes, anything that you want up here. But I wanted to try some traditional Singaporean dishes for you. And if you look down here, we have traditional chicken and rice. And here's the rice and then the broth to put on top. And then we have the innerts, because I do love all of those things inside. So I just definitely want to try a lot of various dishes right while we're here in Singapore. I'm going to try the chicken and rice, and it looks so tender and juicy, and we waited about a half an hour online, and it seems like it's a very popular location that we went to for this. So let's just try this. This is really delicious. It's very juicy, so tender. I guess I might as well try some rice with it. I'll put some of the broth on that, moisten that up a bit, so I can try everything together. How am I going to do this? Okay, I'll take rice, or maybe some chicken. And some rice. Definitely delicious. You would love it. Let's just try some of these innards, which would be the liver, gizzards, heart, all that fun stuff inside. So let's try this. This is a liver. Delicious. Okay. I can still taste that Hainanese chicken rice. It was so juicy. I'm actually craving it. It's already been probably like 5 days since coming back from Singapore. So what I had after eating the chicken, I just wanted to try one of their local beers, and one of the native beers to Singapore is tiger beer. So watch me tasting the tiger beer now. Singapore. And I'm trying a traditional beer that is made in Singapore. It's called tiger beer. Let's see what this is like. Hopefully it will be quenching my thirst on this 90+ degree day and very humid. So let's try it. Cheers. Really good. Cheers, everybody. One day when we were walking in Chinatown, we happened to stumble upon an old Chang Kee stall that was related to one that we found in London a few months ago. And in London when we were there, I tried the chicken curry puff, and that was actually very tasty. And I was just delighted to actually see that right in Chinatown and in Singapore. I was able to try this one. So this time I tried 2 skewers. One was the cheesy chicken balls, and one was the cheesy chicken sausage. Try to say that 5 times fast. But here, enjoy the clip of me trying these 2 things. Delicacies would taste like. Right now I'm having a cheesy chicken ball on a skewer. Let's see what this tastes like. These are actually very good. I love these. Don't mind me. And this, I'll just chew it later. This is a cheesy chicken sausage on a stick. I'll just take a little small and see what that's like. This one is my favorite. I just can't tell you enough how one's experience, your whole experience in life and travel and people and friends and just love just bring everything together, and that's what inspires me to do my cooking, because it all comes with love. And just traveling and experiencing the love everywhere in this world is great for me. So this is a great night, and I just wanted to add this to my experiences of Singapore. So just look at this and just relish in this sight. On Netflix, I had seen a series called Street Food, and on one of the episodes they featured the street food of Singapore. So during this episode, I did see a segment on Asia and her Putu Piring business, which she had helped her parents to sustain and grow from that point. And basically, Putu Piring is a steamed rice cake, and it's filled with melted palm sugar. It's topped with shredded coconut, and it's garnished with pandan leaves. And this actually has Malay origins. And what I'd like you to see now is my clip of me trying the Hague Road Putu Piring dish, and hope you enjoy this clip. So after hunting it down today, we do have how they wrap that when it's for here. And let us try this. And Putu Piring is a very interesting dish that we had seen. It's a dessert. It's made of flour, cane sugar, and a little coconut at the end, and a little bit of extra leaves over here. So let's give this a taste. Alright, ready? It's a very interesting texture. Sort of dry, but not really. Has a nice sweetness to it because it has the particular very dark sugar inside, and it's melted in there. Let me take some of the coconut. Very interesting. It has gone down in the owner of the restaurant's family since the 1960s, when she has kept this tradition up, even when many other traditional foods in Singapore have gone away. So she's keeping up this tradition. So here's to traditional Putu Piring. On my last day in Singapore, I was able to find an indoor food court at a really nice fancy mall in the area, but it's basically an indoor hawker center. But I was able to try wonton noodles, and in Singapore you can order your dish of wonton noodles dry or as soup. And in this case, I ordered wonton noodles with dumplings as a soup, and I also ordered wonton noodles with beef brisket dry. And they do actually give you the broth of the soup on the side so you can moisten everything up if you like to. So here's my clip of me trying some wonton noodles. And today I've gotten a wonton noodle soup. So here it's interesting where you can get noodles dry or get noodles as soup. If you get them dry, you actually still get the broth on the side to put in there. But we have wonton noodle soup, and then we have beef brisket noodles dry with the soup on the side, and some soy sauce to put in there. So I'm going to try this, and it looks really delicious. See the color here? Their wonton noodles are so delicate. I just love how they make their noodles out here. And then the noodles are just so nice and delicate as well. So I'm going to try the soup version first. Just going to taste the broth. Nice amount of salt, but not too much. I love the flavor. I'm going to try the noodles. Try them with this to make it easier. And all of these noodles are homemade, and it's interesting to watch them make them. They're so very skilled, but these noodles have a really nice texture to them. I'm going to try one of these. I'm going to spear it if I can. Or maybe I'll just take the spoon. Let's see. It's very hot, so I'm just going to blow it a little bit. It's really delicious. As you can see, these are made with pork, and the flavor is just outstanding. I'm really enjoying this. But I'm going to move on to the beef brisket noodles. And again, I ordered these dry. The broth is on the side. I'm going to try the beef brisket. The flavors here and all of their foods are just amazing. Really does a lot to your tongue. You know, my tongue is dancing over here. Now let me just get some of these. There you go. Really good too. They have some little salt on top, little various seasonings as you can see. And I can always put some more of the broth on here from here. Juice that up. But really very delicious, and I highly recommend when you come to Singapore, really do your best to just go around to the various hawker centers, food courts, to try all of the food. I've just had a really great time here in Singapore. things that I really like to do at the end of a fun-filled day, whether being on vacation or just a hectic day, is just to have a nice glass of wine. And right now I am in the Marina Bay in Singapore, overlooking the Marina Bay Hotel, all of the boats going by, the scenery here, it's perfect weather. The whole experience is here, and that's what I really like to create when I cook, when I entertain, when I'm with friends, family, everyone, is an experience that you remember always, and this is definitely an experience to remember. So that's one thing that I'd like to express to you is whatever you're doing in life, the experience matters, and the experience that you create for people. And all I like to do is make people happy. So, cheers. Thank you everyone for watching my Tastes of Singapore video. Being in Singapore has really inspired me to expand my skills in cooking Asian foods. And I hope that you will enjoy my next videos coming up of various topics and also places where I will be traveling. So enjoy your day.